When you look at a business or even a person trying to build something, what are you actually paying attention to first?
For me, it's listening between the lines a lot of times, but I think the key is it's just in the first word, listening.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people just miss that part, right? And I'm one of those people where like I genuinely enjoy listening to people. I don't do a lot of talking. I'm usually the one just tell me more, tell me more. And you know, people reveal themselves
Yes.
the more they speak. And so you really have that opportunity to hear the words that they're saying, but you're also hearing what they're not saying.
Mhm.
And then I can use that to kind of connect the dots, put the pieces together, ask questions, those types of things. And so, yeah, just being able to listen, um, not talk about myself, right? Really just getting into what they're thinking. I always tell people, tell me your story.
Yeah.
Tell me why you wanna do what you do. Tell me why you do what you do, right? And that's to me, that's a big indicator, right? Because I wanna hear your passion, and it really goes into how far you'll go
Mhm.
with what you're trying to do. And then I can, like, kinda start from there and work backwards into, like, okay, now where we are today.
Yeah. I'm automatically just going, "Yeah, yeah." It's when someone lights up when they're talking about what they're doing, that's the part I'm listening for.
Mhm.
This isn't just something you think you can be profitable at. This is a passion, this is a purpose. This is something that means something to you because that you can tell a story around. I love the origin stories. The origin stories tell you about why people get into business. For me, I normally break it down into 3. Someone had a bad experience that they wanna help people avoid. Some people had a great experience that they wanna help people have. And then there are other people that saw the opportunity to make money. You can still do something with that, but those are the 3 main ones that I start with, and then I'm listening for, okay, there's a little bit of this, there's a lot of that, and then you can start to figure out where you wanna be able to go with it from there. What are the signals most people completely miss when you're listening and you're listening for, okay, well, you got this part, but what are some of the things that people normally completely miss when you're having that initial conversation?
I think, just a lot of people, they just naturally, have their own biases, right? Everyone
Mm,
has their own experiences. And so it's not even so much that they're missing it as it's just not a perspective that they would even consider until you bring it to them. Right? And so that's kind of the beauty of having like a strategic business partner like myself, like yourself, right? That comes in. We offer perspectives that most people don't think about. We also unpack things, right? That, I dig deeper, right? So I'm going to get to like not just your origin story, not just the why are you doing what you're doing, but, is this like, are we really pulling out what are those talents? What's that purpose? What are you really trying to do here, right? And that's why I'm a strong proponent of supporting purpose driven like businesses and
yeah.
people that are doing something that's really actually impactful, right? Not someone that's like, hey, I'm just going to sell T-shirts out my back trunk. Um, not that you got to do what you got to do, but but really like those purpose driven type of things. So I wouldn't say it's people they just it's natural for people to miss things. Period. Like we can't do everything. It's important to have those partnerships. It's to have a strategic partner in your back pocket is it's a cheat code, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna think of everything, right? You're gonna have blind spots, and you're in your business to do that thing that you are passionate about, the thing that you really feel you're good at. When it comes to running your business, and doing all the operational things, the mundane things, most people don't really start a business to do that piece of it, right? And
Yeah.
they're typically not good at that part of it, right? And so all the more reason why you should bring a strategist or someone in to help you take care of that part of it. So as like a business partner in a sense. So those are the pieces that people miss. They may not be even thinking about what happens,
Mhm.
behind the curtain.
I realized I could have queued it up better, so I'm gonna circle back to it in a way to say there were some things that I know we both were just talking about with, early stage businesses and the things that they may miss
Mhm.
versus the seasoned businesses that they've had a chance to get through a few iterations. They've been in the business for a little while. They've started to see some of the things, and they know what kind of problems they could potentially run into. I think that's where it starts to stand out a little bit more, and people are faster to understand that when they reach out to a strategist. One of the things that I find, early stage businesses are seeking validation. Seasoned businesses are seeking strategists. So the people that are early stage, they are very much, well, I have this idea and I feel like I could do this and I feel like I could do that. And when I'm listening for it and going, yeah, you absolutely could. That is a great business idea. But you're coming to me to figure out how to turn that idea into a business opportunity. So I'm not going to hijack your idea, but I am going to tell you how to turn it into an opportunity that you can not only be profitable with, or rather, not just one that you can generate revenue with, but one you can be profitable with.
Yeah.
And understanding their why is where that really starts to kick in, and it starts to help you craft a story and craft a business model and start to find all the things where it's like, okay, if this is where your passion is, a strategist can help you figure out all the other things and say, just if that's what you love, let's make sure that you get to focus on the things that you love. And there's a distinct difference between being a business owner and someone that just runs a business.
Mhm.
And I think that's one of the things that stands out. So, um, I'm gonna circle back to it because I know we were having the conversation about the differences between early stage businesses and the ones that are a little more seasoned. That's what I normally see when I'm having that initial conversation and I'm assessing what they're looking at. Does that sound about right, or are you listening for anything else? Early stage versus seasoned.
Oh yeah, no, it's completely different mentality. I think you're right. And I think the biggest difference is that if part that you were talking about. Like
Mm,
if this is what you want to do, then I can help you lay out all the things that turns it into something
love that.
tangible. The problem with if, right, is that it can change frequently, right?
Yeah.
And so their early stage, like you're making a lot of different investments, right? And even if it's technically a good investment, like how committed are you to that if, right? How committed are you to that idea, right? And so the more established folks have kind of gone through that trial and error period. So they've settled into like, okay, now I know that this is the thing that I'm going to do, right?
Mhm.
They understand the value of investing, right? And they've made their investments and they've, you know, done the trials and errors. They've done the different things that they felt could work and they've settled on something and they're like, this is the path I want to go down. So now there's a little bit more security and like I can bring in a strategist, and we can feel a little better about like, okay, they're not going to be, um, kind of moving from one idea to the next idea. What about this? Like that validation. They're not really looking for that validation. Now they're actually looking for a strategy.
Yeah.
Now they're actually looking for someone that, I mentioned earlier of where are you trying to prevent the pain, right?
Mhm.
And so with the early stage, it's the pain that they want to prevent is immediate. It's like, I need all hands on deck. I need someone to help me in this today, right now, with what I'm trying to do. Whereas those that have invested in their business and they're a little bit more established, they're now bringing in a strategist to say, okay, I need you to help me prevent what's going to happen down the road, or I need you to help me set things up so that I don't have this pain down the road.
Yeah, yeah. I've packaged that up into having a conversation. There's preventative measures and then there's reactionary solutions.
Mhm.
And what I'm listening for is which path are you on and what's your mentality? Because early stage businesses, I find are very reactionary. Well, this happened, so now I need to do something about it. As opposed to the seasoned businesses where they start to say, okay, I need to start taking preventative measures. And what I equate it to is having skin in the game. It's almost like walking on a tightrope. When you're doing it 2 feet off the ground, you can dance on the wire, you can do a whole lot of different things, but the higher you get up, revenue-wise or having your reputation out there and everything else, the consequences change. And you start taking it a lot more seriously and you start saying, "Okay, I've got more to lose, so I have to get more right." And I don't expect the audience to be able to kinda just wave it off and go, "You know what? It is what it is." So with that, preventative measures, I believe that's where when people start to realize, okay, I actually need a strategist. I need someone that can step in and help me see the things that I can't see. So then this way I can actually focus on the things that I do see and I can take care of those things and they can help me figure out how to be able to map things out a little bit further. That's reframing a problem.